Hello, 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 friends. Nicholas here with DIVO TED Talks, Devoted Talks, depending on how you want to say it, where we take ancient wisdom and practices through a modern lens and experience so that we can help you and the ones you love, perhaps, end suffering in your lives, or at least feel better while doing it. Oh, man, I realized that yesterday afternoon was probably not the best day to record because I just was a little bit low on blood sugar and a little bit out of it. Couldn't keep my train of thought. So today I feel much more collected, although today was yet another snow event, which was what? I had to clear ice from my front step again. Not actually my step. I had to clear ice on the blacktop, which still has huge amounts of snow and ice that are melting and refreezing at night. Thankfully, next week, allegedly, we are to have temperatures in the 50s, which should help get rid of all of this, which would be really, really nice. But it got me thinking, right? Everything in its rightful place, everything in its right time, everything takes as long as it takes, and nothing takes any longer than it's supposed to take. Life is this ebb and flow, this eddying sometimes of these intermixing of forces like weather, and we have to be present for it because when resisting it, one, divest ourselves of energy and focus, but also because we can't really do much to change our situation without being present for it and then making choices within that presence. And so what does this mean for you and life in Ayurveda? Well, it means, one, if you know you can't be anywhere else, then you can accept it as it is and start there. And what does that mean? It means that you're not trying to be somewhere else, so all of your energy is focused into that present moment, which then allows you to pull from more resources than you might have were you not, right? If all of your energy is focused into the present moment, you then are resourced with all of that energy. Now, that can look like different things for different people, but ultimately, where attention goes, energy flows, right? It's kind of like shining a spotlight over a landscape. Things that, perhaps were shrouded in dark, once have that light on it, are energized, and you can physically see them. So too, if we take our attention, we start to flow energy and illuminate things for which we place the attention upon. So, there's lots of different ways we can go this, right? Like if you look at certain things for a long period of time, you start to move towards those things, right? So if you're moving towards negative things because that's all you're focusing on, then you're just going to yield that much more of the negative, which is not necessary. It's a choice. Now, I'm not saying it's an easy choice, and I'm not saying that it isn't a challenge in and of itself. However, Yoga and Ayurveda shows us through practice things become easier and easier and easier. And what does that mean for us in the long run? It means that we get better at it. Much like driving a car, when we first started, we had to pay a lot of attention and be really focused. I remember being so scared going so fast in that motor vehicle, and now I have to remind myself sometimes to pay attention. Not because I'm distracted, but just because I'm zoning out because it's so autonomic. It's just so habitual. And have you guys ever driven somewhere and you arrive and you're like, I don't remember anything, right? Because you were in your head and your thoughts and not in the present moment observing, right? But sometimes it can feel tedious, right? Sometimes we look at life as this tedium and minutia that we are exploring, and it doesn't have to be that way. Granted, sometimes it is required of us to be that and do that. More power to you. It's not that I'm not a detail-oriented guy. I very much am when I am building thoughts and worlds within my mind. But when it comes to things that are obligations, sometimes I'm like, ugh. Which, back to the having to chip ice and scrape ice and clear the parking lot, that was very tedious. But I persisted. I took my breath and I said, this has to be done. And you're doing it for a good reason. And it's true, I was. I was able to suck up my pride and shift my frame so that it wasn't as arduous and it wasn't as depleting, because I wasn't trying to be somewhere else other than that. Of course, it was tiring, and of course, I'm still sore, but that's just, I don't have control of the weather. If I did, I would have one snow every year and just one, and it would be a light, fluffy one that's cleared easily and not heavy impacts like we've had the last 2 weeks. I mean, it's kind of going on 3 weeks now this week. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So, what can we glean from this topic? Where attention goes, energy flows. So what in your life are you filling with your energy? Could you be filling yourself with your energy? Or are you filling others? Are you filling situations? Are you filling the future or the past, right? An ideal or a realism? Are you filling with your life force, with your energy, with your attention? Or are you right here, right now? Right? One of the things with life is, as you get older, it seems to go by faster, right? Because you start to become familiar with the rhythm and it starts to speed up. But I also would counter that if you learned this art of presence, it would slow back down and it would be a little bit more attuned to our normal settings rather than these, just getting through it, right? That's also part of the energy that we're giving it. We're giving it I just got to get this done. I just got to get through this. Versus, I hate when people go like, you get to do that. You don't have to do that. Yes, you're right. And reframing is a good thing, but sometimes it's good to feel your feelings, because eventually you're going to feel bad and get tired of feeling bad, so you'll make a choice to feel better, and then it's you, an endogenous shift and change, rather than this external change that is ephemeral, right? I used to suffer from using outside things to shift my mood. And I'm talking like I would go shopping, I would go look at animals, I would go to the zoo, I would go do things to make myself feel better. And it was all under the guise of self-care, but I was relying on something other than myself to go somewhere and have it be satisfying to make me feel better. That only lasts for so long. And so where was my attention going? It was going outside of me to other things to try to make me feel better, rather than putting the energy into me and fostering something new to sprout and be good internally. So yeah, the takeaways: where your attention goes, your energy flows. What you think about all day long is what you will become or you will have in your life. That's from Nightingale. And then yoga and Ayurveda are telling us, be in the present moment, be here now, because if you're filling cups outside of yourself, eventually you won't have any for you, and you're going to suffer, and you're going to get sick, and you're going to get ill. So my best recommendation for you, my friends, to be well and be free is remember that you are worth paying attention to day in, day out, every minute, every second.